Welcome to the Rainbow Remix Best of Series 2022.
I don't know, like, she's out there. You're the Florida version of Sex and the City, JB.
That's when I was smoking my cigars.
Don't be an asshole today.
Up first in the mix is Julie Schurr, life coach and success strategist.
Hey, JD. There she is.
Favorite day, the Julie Schurr day.
I know, that's what she said. What do we have on Wednesday? I said, Julie Schurr. She goes, oh, good. I like when Julie's on.
That's my thing.
Oh, that's wonderful.
It's like a warm hug.
My niece was excited that she was, I guess, corresponding with you on Facebook, was it?
Yeah, she friended me.
Yeah, she was happy. She told me about it. She knows the lyrics to all of your songs, and she told me it's as if Julie went into my head and into my diary and wrote the lyrics to my life, to my what's going on in my
That's
head.
Hilarious.
Yeah,
the things I liked about your music was that it wasn't just the music and how fun and animated and everything that you were on stage. It was the relatability. Because here's the thing, you could understand every word of Julie's songs. Like you didn't have to, like I wouldn't walk around totally singing the wrong lyrics to one of your songs, like I would something else. And I think that was it, that it always struck a chord in people. So that's well done.
I miss it. It. I'll admit I miss it. But
I'm gonna let you just go off on what you've been doing, because it's been a while. We're catching back up. You've been busier than I'll get out. And then I have a major question, which was great because Gemma and I were just talking about this at dinner, and I was like, I gotta ask Julie. So you go first.
Wait, me?
You go first.
Tell us what have I been doing? Well,
you, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, me. Hi. Hey. Okay.
What are we looking at? What are we looking at?
It's a lovely little bar. You were looking at like a lot of screaming and cursing, trying to crack the Zoom code, which this was not made by Zoom. Anybody seeing this who wants one, I found a tutorial, like 3 YouTube tutorials. I had to splice together some software, blah, blah. Figured out how to do this. I don't know how, but I ended up putting it to work because I don't want to pay for Zoom. I don't use it enough. I mean, all the client calls I do are over either Messenger voice calls or Skype calls, or they're calls. I don't use video. Right. So, but with you guys, I wanted it to be, my information to be accessible. If somebody's watching and is interested. So I made this bar and I finished it today, and this is the debut.
Beautiful.
Thank you. And what you're seeing are 2 new things, because I've been doing the coaching training. I'm doing the practice sessions and everything, which are 20 minutes and free for those who are interested. Now you have a way to get a hold of me. So I've changed the name of my business. It's Apex Coaching. So Apex Community Coaching, because I'm working with LGBTQIA community. I will work with anybody, but I'm centered on our community. Primarily lesbians, non-binary people over 30. That's where I feel the best. That's where I feel the most helpful. So I'm staying with that. So as you can see here, I do have apexcommunitycoaching.com. You can go there, and it's just a coming soon page, which you can enter your email and name if you want to know when we launch. I'm not going to spam you or anything. There's nothing to spam you with at this point. I'm still building. And you can also get a hold of me for information at Let's Talk at apexcommunitycoaching.com. And if you're interested in knowing more about what coaching is, what you could gain from it, what I can do for you. Or if you just want to say, oh, well, screw it. Let's just do 23 minutes. Let's try the session, you know, get a hold of me and we book it. You know, because again, that's free. So that's set up, but I'm really excited about that, but I'm also super excited about this.
Yeah.
Because I thought, you know, what do I do when I'm not coaching? Because I love giving to people. Like the music was giving myself to people.
Yeah.
I love the feeling of doing that. That's why I'm working on doing coaching. I want to give something of myself to people, even though, you know, it's really just encouraging them to realize what they can do. It makes me feel like I'm fulfilling my purpose. So I thought, you know, until coaching really, I get super booked and stuff, which will happen one day, speaking that out. Until then, you know, what can I do, you know, that would be cool, that people are kind of like lacking. And I was like, oh, I wish I could like just tell everybody how awesome they are. And I realized, no, I can. So if you're interested, both of you or anybody listening, I decided, you know what, I'm going to invest a little bit of money every month into running this site. It's Uplift Community, and my first project is just if you go to upliftthecommunity.org, you can just enter your email, and what it is every week, every Wednesday, you're going to get just an email that tells you how awesome you are in one way or another.
That's great.
Whether it's telling you you're a badass, that you're awesome, you got this, you're perfect, whatever. It's going to be once a week. Wednesday is usually a really hard day. Like it's just middle of the week and you're dragging. Put in your email and I'll send you an email. Everybody on the list gets an email once a week on Wednesday. And I'm going to try to include a resource or a quote from the community in every email. So whether that be, you know, a hotline that caters to the LGBTQIA community, or a quote from an influential leader in the community, or something inspiring, something so that it's not just, oh, here's an inspirational meme. I'm not throwing memes at you. You know, I'm going to handwrite all of these. These will be writing.
Or a good follow. There's somebody that you follow that you.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like, just drop a follow in there, man. I'm always like, I just made a TikTok account for the cartoons.
Oh, cool.
And I'm just gonna put it out there. I fucking hate TikTok. Okay.
Oh no, I
feel like you don't get anything from it unless you're 21 and it's 4 and you're like doing some weird dance, right? So I do it, and then, you know, I go on and check and see, like, you know, I load up all the cartoons or whatever and go on and check and see if anybody's looking, and it's doing good. You know, it's all right. But like it opens like to a thing and it's like find new friends, and I'm like, I don't know anybody's name. You know, I don't know anybody's handle to follow. So like, you know, then it'll go like, we'll suggest some for you. And I'm like, nope. X. So yeah, if you know a good follow, like that's a great thing to include in the email.
Yeah.
No matter what platform it is. Like it doesn't like, I'm not saying it has to be TikTok, but an Instagram follow, a Twitter follow, a Facebook follow, like,
maybe,
you know,
people
somebody
who
that you're
support the community, people who are working for the community, just good things, you know, and
because everybody loves a follower.
Right.
So you're saying someone who's following you, like if you've got someone following you that's got, is that what you're saying, Denise?
No, just like, I mean, like I always tell people like, oh my God, I follow this account, it's so funny or whatever, and I'll send it to them, you know.
Oh, I see.
But I mean, like that obviously, you know, your topic of interest is going to be community leaders and programs and stuff like that. So if you're looking for those on Facebook and you find a good one, like definitely share it, you know.
Right. Yeah. I want to kind of, I mean, the whole point is uplift. Like I want to do something that brings
Yeah, who
some
wouldn't smile at like an
some
incoming
happiness
email
to
that
the
says you're
community.
awesome?
Exactly. Yeah. I like that.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And I mean, and the thing about what I want to do is, like, I want to do this without making it super gendered, like where
Mhm.
it's like, oh, wives love their husbands, it's always, that's always with stuff, you know what?
Mhm.
Not for me.
Right.
I don't
Yeah.
want, like,
Yeah.
I mean, and I know it's a small thing, but it's 2022, for fuck's sake. Could we like maybe just make it a little more neutral? And so I'm just gonna, put in, you're an awesome person.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah, I
an
like it.
amazing human being. This is
Yeah.
not going to be, and if that insults people, then don't sign up. But
Right,
it's gonna tell you how awesome you are. I don't care what you look like, who you love, who you're
Yeah.
sleeping with, who you're not. I don't care, because that's
Right.
important to you. That doesn't matter to me. You're a human, and I want you to have encouragement and love if you are part of the queer community. And that's what I'm trying to put out with Uplift. And that's what I'm trying to help with people with
Ah,
Right.
so, this is kind of like, Uplift is like a labor of love kind of thing. And so is Apex, but it's more of a, I hope, to fuel my life off of,
Yeah.
what I can earn here. But Uplift is just, and I'm hoping to find after this, maybe there's another project I can do, something that's, just giving something with, no asks really.
Wouldn't it be great if there was like, how it's almost like, and I'm not putting these programs or things down in any way, but like, if you're an alcoholic, you got AA. If you're a drug addict, you got, NA or whatever it's called. But I mean, like, if you're a sex addict, you've got
SA.
Anonymous. Yeah. So it's like, it's almost like you have to have something wrong with you to have a support group.
Support. Yeah.
And wouldn't it just be great to walk into
Yes.
some place and just sit with a bunch of strangers because you all want to feel better, and make each other feel better. And just sit and
From
and
life.
eat
Yeah.
cookies and drink coffee and like talk
Uh-huh.
about how
Oh
awesome.
man, you know what? I'm glad you brought that up, because you know what? Something I'm planning, and I haven't put it together yet. So maybe it won't happen, but you know what? I really wanted to get together, like put together some kind of just group meeting online for I mean, it's going to be part of the coaching thing, but it'd be free. So, but we all join together and just kind of talk it out and support each other.
Yeah.
Like I thought, what, that'd be a great thing, especially,
Yeah.
I feel like it even work better if you don't know each other. Like,
Like
what?
Smile
Come
Anonymous.
join in, there's
like
there's a
Smile
cap of 20
Anonymous and just
people.
The
to get
anonymous.
there. Yeah, Smile
Anywhere,
Anonymous.
yes, anywhere in the world. And
Right.
I was thinking of doing that with Apex and just having it, planning an event and inviting, and it's say, first 20 are in, we're going to meet at this time. And you know
There's
what?
no
There's
badges. There's
Great
no,
idea.
I'm
You don't have to
so-and-so
worry about the shit.
badges. Yeah.
You just show up.
I love it.
And we encourage each other, or we just sit and stare at the screen. You don't have to be alone. You feel, you've had a shitty week. You just want to be around
Yes.
people without leaving your house.
Right.
That's what we're going to do. And if we want to talk, then we'll talk. And it's
Right.
not even about coaching. Like this is not a
No.
driven, goal driven thing. It's just, let's be together
Mhm.
and share and talk, like I thought
Even
of
if
doing
it's
that.
just like, what was the best part of your day? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Or
exactly.
or
I
like,
mean,
how do you
that's
pull
support.
yourself out of a funk or something? Like,
All of these are support,
Yeah.
You
Right.
could use like a little play on words thing, like life support, like a life support group.
Oh my God, I
Because
love that.
It's like life, right? Because you're supporting
Yeah.
people with life issues. Life
yeah,
support.
Mhm.
You
it's
can
so
use that.
global.
Feel
It's
free.
yeah, it's the
You know
thing.
what?
like,
I think I'm gonna do that. I actually made a Facebook page for Uplift. I haven't put this out there yet. You guys are the first ones to know about
Mhm.
this. Like this is
Breaking
the
news.
literal, I mean, one person knows. That's it.
Do you want it? Are we gonna put this out?
Oh,
Or you
no,
out
put
there
this-
on this now?
No,
Okay.
no, it's ready now.
It's ready,
But
okay.
I mean, I haven't told anybody about the Facebook page, nothing. I haven't shared anything. I've been building it, hoping to get it done by tonight. and then
Ah.
debut. But you know what? I could host that on the Uplift page, because I don't hide the fact that Uplift is connected to Apex. You know, I'm not
Right,
trying
yeah.
to hide anything, but you know, I do say Apex is a LGBTQIA owned and operated company. You know, and it is. I mean, granted, there's nothing coming in, so technically company, but you know, like I think that'd be a great place to host it too.
Oh,
because
definitely.
it's
Yeah.
Uplift.
Then I think that people get nervous when they hear that term, like, well, you got to do the work, you know, like, yeah, I'm going to help you, but you got to do the work. And automatically they're like,
Yeah,
oh, I don't want to have assignments and
Oh, but it's not
deadlines."
right. They
Right.
might not know
So
what
I
work
want
is.
you
Yeah.
to pick apart that,
Mhm.
you know, what doing the work means in the scenario of working one-on-one with someone. Like, what is the work?
Mhm.
Okay, yeah, work is a scary word, and
Right.
Good
look,
question.
there are no assignments. Like honestly, I don't want to do that work either.
Right,
You know, like,
right.
I give you assignments and I have to grade them. It's
Right.
not that kind of work. And you know, it's really the only word that fits, but you know, it kind of paints a negative picture.
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
For instance,
Sure.
if you were interested in, you know, in working with me, if someone was interested in working with me to reach a certain goal, they felt stuck, they felt like, oh, I'm not really happy with where I am in life right now, or you know what, I know I could be happier, but I just don't know how to get there, you know. So here's the thing, the work is going to be different for everybody, because what we're going to do is I'm going to help you come up with a plan or steps or whatever that might look like that fits your life,
Right.
that fits the family you have, the time you have, the time you can give. I've spoken with people who have a lot of time and they want, you know, a very intricate thing, and you know, they've designed something that, you know, okay, well, this day I'm going to do this, and this day I'm going to do this, and this day I'm going to make this list, and next week I'm going to, okay, that's awesome. I'm going to hold you accountable. We're going to write all of them down. I'm going to hold you accountable. I'm going to give you a deadline, because that's what they want. That's
Mhm.
what, but then
Right.
other people are like, you know what, this is going to be pressure and I can't do it. I'm like, okay, for instance, if someone wants, let's say, you know, they want to manage their time a little bit better. What I tell everybody is the first step is the most important. I mean, that's cliche, but it's true. You know, if you start moving, you're at least moving, even if it's small. So let's say you have a time management issue and you just, you know, you really want to do that craft that you haven't gotten to do in like the last 10 years because you have kids now and you're married and whatever. Well, you know, we discuss it until we find maybe an hour a week that works for you, and you don't have to do it, but we talk through it. I'll talk through it with you until we find an hour that's doable, maybe another hour that's doable over on this day. And then I might ask you, okay, during that hour, can you make a list of 3 things that you would love to do if there were no kids and no other obligations going on in that hour? Make a list of those 3. Is that something you can work with? Can you make a list of 3 things? And that's the work that helps some people, just sitting down and thinking, okay, if I had nothing else going on, you know, that was in the background taking my time, what would I do during this hour that I know is free? And you know what, that is the work I'm talking about. It's small. It's small.
Imagining it and then getting to what you imagined.
It's retraining your brain to see that there are other possibilities, essentially.
That's cool.
It's just kind of, and it seems so small, and honestly they are small things, but like JD, with you, that's the work I give. Like when I told you, when you hear that negative voice pop up, just say fuck off to the voice. That's the work. That was JD's work.
Yes.
How long did that take you? That was 10 seconds. But the thing is, that tiny little thing is retraining. Granted, it is not a massive overhaul. It is retraining, but you can't do a massive overhaul. You can't reach what you want in 2 seconds. Either of those.
Right.
Everything
That's reality. Right.
Right. We have to break it into manageable parts and look towards the future you want. We're not going to look at the giant overwhelming
Right.
mountain you think
Right.
you have to get past to get there.
Mhm.
We're going to find a good route, but it's going to take step by step by step. And that's the work. The work is more just showing up, really, and
Right.
being open to discussing with me different ways that work for you. And I'm not going to force you to do anything. I'm not going to require you to do anything. But if you say, for instance, okay, lists, I hate lists, but you know what? Maybe if I set an alarm on my phone for these 2 hours in the week, just to let me know, I'm going to support you on that. That's perfect. But I'm going to hold you accountable once you decide, because that's part of what I do. I'm going to check in. If you didn't do it, I'm not going to yell at you. I'm going to ask why you didn't and how we can do it better. Like, okay, why didn't you? Oh, that fades into the background. Okay, let's find something that doesn't.
Yeah.
Like, let's work on something else. It's just,
You know
working
what?
with you.
You know what would be great if you could think of another word besides work, and then
You know what
people
it is?
might-
It's like,
get
it's
to
the
decide.
word here is listening and applying,
It is.
Yeah,
you know,
Yeah.
like
Action,
listening.
action.
steps.
It really is just action.
And
It's
yeah,
finding actions that work for each. I mean, and literally everybody's different.
Sure,
I
yeah.
have had a lot of people who love lists. I will tell you that, though. A lot of people love the lists.
I like
Yeah.
lists. I'm a
And
list
I like lists too. I like making bulleted lists, but then if you're too into the list, maybe they kind of lose their power. So I think I've
Right.
mentioned
Yeah.
before, I tell people, you know, if you make a list, but include the things you don't consider accomplishments. If you did the laundry,
Right.
if
Right,
you did the
right.
laundry, that's energy that you
Yeah.
spent
Mhm.
and something
Yeah,
that you
and
could have put
time.
off. That's an accomplishment. So
Like-
count that. Yeah.
I think it's
Yeah, you gotta
important to make
acknowledge
the
the
list
small things.
attainable.
If
Right,
you don't-
exactly.
if you don't, you know, then you do start feeling defeated.
You
You
do.
know, But little
Right,
things, you know,
right.
that are accomplishments are still accomplishments, you know, like
And I mean,
cleaned
everybody
the radiator today.
You
That
don't
was
have
little
the same-
thing, but I did it.
Yeah, you don't have the same amount of energy every day. I mean, some days I'm
Right.
just like, oh, I have 300 things to do and I have like 5 seconds of energy, you know, and you know what? If I get something done that day, I'm proud of myself, you know,
Yeah.
and I cross it off the list. But other days, you know, I do a ton of stuff. I'm proud of myself both days though, you know, and
Yeah.
that's kind of the point of this, you know, like I really want people to realize how much more they're doing than they actually realize, and how much
Right.
better they're doing than they actually realize, and how much more
Mhm.
they can do because they're capable. I really believe that, you know, and that's
Yeah.
what
true.
I help with.
That's fantastic, because I do
Yeah.
think that people get overwhelmed by
Yeah.
everything they're taking in. But
Yeah.
I really think like the name Uplift Community speaks for itself. Like we're
Mhm.
about,
Mhm.
you know, uplifting each other and support.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like you can mess that up.
I
It
mean,
doesn't feel like you can confuse that with
I would hope not.
up, or you
I would
know,
hope not.
yeah. So I think that I honestly do think it's a really good name.
But it is
Yeah.
a bunch of gay
Yeah.
people ending up
Yeah.
in the same spot. So,
Yeah.
you know how we do.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
how we do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Well, I think all of this is, I think of how far you've come since we
What do you
started.
think of Apex? Do you like my new name over
I do
here?
like it.
I
do
love
like
the
it.
name.
Yeah.
Apex is the highest point you can get in something, and that's what I want to take people to. You know, like
That's perfect.
that's where I want to help people
That's
in
great.
some way, shape, or form. And first it was music, and then it was teaching, and you know, now it's hopefully this, you know, whichever one of these, you know, hopefully both, you know.
It's such an interesting program, like process.
It is.
because It's
Yeah.
so far removed than, you know, a therapist couch. It's so far removed than this
Mhm.
clinical sterile environment.
Yeah.
You know, it's like having the best friend.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Oh my
That
God, you're gonna have
maybe
so
is a
many
little
best
more
friends.
training, that maybe has a little more training and
Yeah.
abides to ethical guidelines.
Right, right. But that's kind of what you want, you know?
Yes,
Not
because
the
my
best
best
friend, but
friend
I
will
mean-
tell me to do some shady shit, but you know what? I will not. advise you to do shady shit.
That's,
I also won't judge you if you do, because I'm there for you. I don't judge. You're not hurting somebody else. Do the shady shit if it helps you.
And there's your first advertisement right there.
It really is for people that are serious about doing better, about bettering themselves, about doing better.
If you're not ready, you're not ready.
Right.
And if you are, you are,
But that's why these free 20-minute sessions are so important.
Yeah. And maybe you think you want it and you talk to me and you realize, no, it's not the time for this. That's cool.
Right.
20 minutes, that's good.
There's no obligation. There's no obligation.
No, you don't have to like give your credit information or anything like that to talk to me. You just have to send me an email at let's talk. Oh, look, I'm not mirrored. So
there it is. Yeah.
At apexcommunitycoaching.com.
Love it.
So
And if you want the free happiness, just go to Uplift the Community. It's all one word, but I spaced it out so it's a little easier to read. Upliftthecommunity.org. So if you go there now, it's actually live and up. You just enter your email. You can unsubscribe at any time. It's super easy. Just a little, I make it easy to come in and out. Like, I don't want to trap anybody.
All right, listen, we will catch up with you again.
Yes.
But we will follow you, of course, like on all these events and
please do.
Going on. And I'm gonna put those in when I post our chat.
Kick ass.
Yeah. Well, we will catch up with you probably around the beginning of December.
Okay.
And we'll see how things are going then.
Yes.
Yeah, it works. Okay, good. All right, chicas.
I love you guys. So great to talk to you. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Up next in the mix is LGBTQ mental health expert, Dr. Lynda Spann of the Lesbian Couples Institute.
Hi.
How's everyone?
Hey. This is Donna, my old podcasting partner, and we're at JD's.
Awesome.
We are in the same room, which is so fun.
Yay.
In the States.
I'm in the States. I'm having a blast. And we thought that this would be a great show for her to sit in on. And
she's risky, but that's okay.
Life is all about risk, right?
right, just gathering all the over 50s and bringing them into this.
Right.
Just all the over 50s and
There's
bringing them in.
a whole group coming in a little while.
Years. It'll be a party.
We're gonna give
Right.
tours. We're gonna give tours. So you when you emailed me this morning, you said, are we gonna wing it or do you have a topic? And I said, I thought perhaps we should discuss communication.
Yeah.
Because here's my thinking. If you've never been a good communicator and you're over 50, my question is, are you capable of becoming one? Or
Absolutely.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, that's surprising.
There's hope.
That's okay. My thought was, when we say we're so set in our ways, and that
I
can
know.
apply to anything. So I'm wondering.
But if you're over 50 and you read a new recipe, can you make something that you've never made before?
Well, yes, you are correct. That's very true. Because I feel like there's so many things that we've learned along the way too. That's a plus.
Yeah.
We've learned along the way, such as like, don't walk out, don't go to bed angry, don't raise your voice, don't take a defensive reaction, like all those kinds of things. But when you're in the heat of it, you forget them all.
Oh,
Yeah.
You forget them all. You could
Oh,
do
yeah.
every single one of them.
That's
So
right.
are there ways, like, is there a like, what, take it from there. I feel like I can't even ask, I can't even ask the right question. Just like,
Well, you're right. Our brains get hijacked. And here's the thing, our brains get hijacked when we feel threatened, right? So when we feel threatened, we go from the prefrontal cortex, as part of our brain, into that lizard brain. You've heard of lizard brain?
no, but I want to know.
Oh, so lizard brain is like,
you know,
yeah, it's that really primitive part of the brain that where we can't like be rational and emotional at the same time. We're just in survival mode. So that's what you want to avoid, is triggering that in one another. You're going to trigger it sometimes anyway, but what's really helpful is to, first of all, when there's a difficult conversation to be had, it's more about being really connected and friendly first, before even the communication skills come into place.
Okay.
So things like, I'm never going to talk to my partner from a standing up position when she's sitting down, because that's, there's a sense of threat in that. We're not going to sit next to each other to have a conversation. We're going to sit eye to eye, face to face. And part of the reason is, well, there's a whole bunch of reasons, but when we're looking at one another, we're able to read our microfacial movements and get a much better scan on, oh yeah, you're safe, versus if we're peripheral, we're more likely to feel threatened.
Wow. Okay.
Including a little bit of touch, like putting your hand on your partner's arm or her knee, or,
Right.
running your hands through her hair for a second.
Oh, that's nice. I mean, even
I just saw
Example.
myself grabbing a handful
Oh,
and pulling really hard. I do not see gentleness.
I was gonna say, like, even like sometimes people tend to like get up and walk away and maybe just go in the other room or go in the other part of the room. Like, I think it's important to stay looking at each other face to face.
You're right.
Like they can't
Is it like the, I need a
communicate if
minute?
Someone, yeah, the I
Like
need a
that.
minute is hard because
It breaks
it-
the flow.
it does.
Yeah.
You kind of feel like almost emotionally hung up on, like,
Yeah.
someone, like,
Absolutely. And
Like,
sometimes we do need a minute. It's going to be much better for both of you if you just say, hey, I need a minute. I really care about what you're talking about. Just give me a couple of minutes so I can get back to my calm place.
Process.
Versus I'm going to walk out of the room and you're going to feel abandoned, and therefore you're going to get all tripped up and triggered.
Right.
And so then the next time we talk, it's going to be like,
Yes.
exactly.
And is like, do you agree with this? Like, are you getting,
I
like, what do
have,
you
I
think?
have two things.
Okay.
First of all, I love the recipe
Analogy.
reference
Yeah.
because it's kind of hopeful, but also if you've had like baked apples one way for 50+ years, like, are you gonna adjust to that new baked apple recipe immediately? I'm thinking no, speaking from my perspective.
yeah.
But I'm also willing to try. I like that idea and I'm willing to try. So, but apart from that, you're describing a situation or a scenario where folks are the same, where they're willing to address conflict the same way. So let's see, hypothetically, if somebody's like an explosive, screaming, emotional person and the partner is a very calm, very need to process slowly, cannot react while there's hoopla kind of person. So where is the safety space for either couples
A
or
highly
just two
reactionary,
individuals,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Or just
Right.
two individuals that are having a conversation?
Yeah. You could see that in the background, couldn't you? So you have to create the safety space. And I think one of the things that helps is to ask, is this a good time for us to talk? Because if my partner or the other person I'm talking to is like upset or angry or really hungry or getting ready to go to bed or a variety of reasons, they're not in a good place to talk. If you just start in, they're going to immediately get into that escalated kind of space that you're describing. It's Donna, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So check out, is this a good time to talk? Now that whole idea of we'll never go to bed angry, can I just call bullshit on that? Because
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
yeah, how many weddings have we been to where the old people are giving advice and that's the advice?
Right,
That's it,
right.
yeah.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
you're so right. That's
Yeah.
the old people advice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Old school.
So here's the thing, you can be in some discord because you haven't had a chance yet to have the conversation all the way through
Right.
and still know you love each other. But
And-
you might be a little bit upset before you go to bed, right? And so you can, I'm kind of pissed at you and we don't have time to talk about this. We'll do it tomorrow.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Definitely.
okay.
That's
And I'm angry or a little bit miffed or kind of frustrated, and I still love you. You're my person. Let's get a good night's sleep. For God's sake, let's not stay up talking about this till
Right.
2 a.m. That
That's
doesn't
the
benefit
point.
anybody.
yeah.
I love
Yeah.
that point. That's true because
That's huge.
sometimes you could get, if you drag it on, you could get where you're going through the night with it and then you're exhausted.
Yeah.
Oh, and you're not,
What
yeah.
you're saying
Yeah.
anymore.
Then you're pissed the whole next day at
Right.
work. Yeah.
Exactly,
Yeah.
right.
It is. That's so true. That myth busted. That's how I feel about that.
Yes.
That was
Let's
a
just
myth-
bust that one.
That was a
Let's
myth
bust that one.
buster. Yeah. It
I
is.
want to go back to what Donna was asking though, which is, okay, first of all, check it out. Is this a good time for us to talk? And that will help right out of the gate. That's going to help not escalate. But then the thing is, the person that tends toward getting upset and escalating, you got to can the conversation.
When
All
it
right.
starts,
It
when
doesn't
yeah.
help to push through when one of you is, in the lizard brain. And that's usually because that person feels a little bit threatened. It doesn't ever work to have a conversation at that level of elevation. So if you can have an agreement that, when that happens, we're going to do something else for a little while, and then we'll come back to it when we're
Yeah.
both calm.
Yeah, you really can't push through
Yeah.
something like that. It's only
Yeah.
gonna get worse from there.
Louder and-
Like I feel like as I've gotten older, I've changed a little bit, whereas I was extremely reactionary. And it's probably Gemma's influence, because she will not engage. My wife
Yeah.
will not engage.
Yeah.
if I'm
But
in
doesn't
a
that just fire
state.
you up further?
no.
Yeah.
No.
Really
That's
fires you
my-
up further.
my thing, yeah.
No.
That escalates me further and quicker.
Yes.
It's unfortunate because I already know it's coming.
Mhm,
Like I already
mhm.
know it's going
Yeah.
to go that way.
Yeah,
And I know that there's absolutely no resolution.
like that's just something.
Yeah, and odds are we're attracted to people different than us, right? And then
So
the challenge arises, how
so different.
are we gonna be?
Well, that's what I wanted to ask you, Dr. Spann, like, what do you suggest when two people get together? Say even in the very beginning of the relationship and they know they're different. One is the quiet one and one is the very demonstrative, loud person. Like, does that,
Like, and we're not 20.
is
That's
that
harsh.
doomed to
That's
not
harsh.
work?
Demonstrative.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I think it can. I think it can work. Wouldn't
Yeah.
life be boring if we were all the same?
Right, right.
Yeah, I
right.
think it can work. I think the commitment is we're gonna have these difficult conversations. We're not gonna shy away from them. And if I'm the feisty one, I'm gonna really work at keeping my volume at a decibel that doesn't
Reasonable.
make you freaked out, right? Because some people get, literally, their reflex is something's dangerous here,
Mhm.
right?
Right.
The last time this happened in my family 10 years ago, they didn't speak to each other for a decade. That's some serious reason
Yeah.
to avoid difficult conversations. So if you have a conversation that we're going to make this safe so that we can have all manner of conversation. I'm going to make it safe for you by
Yeah.
toning down, and you're going to make it safe for me by staying in the room.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Right.
staying
Right.
engaged and being
Rules.
willing to open your mouth and share your feelings.
Do you feel like that's something, before when we were
Mhm.
talking about how you communicate, when you're dating, when you're first dating or whatever, like
Mhm.
communication, that you're talking until all hours of the night, you're on the phone, you fall asleep together, all that kind of stuff. But is that stuff that you
hang up first.
you hang up first. No, you hang up first. Is that something like we talk about then? Like, do you say,
Yeah, I think you start talking about it then. I think that phase of a relationship, we're all hopped up on those love chemicals that make us, we may or may not take that in, because at that stage, we're so focused on our similarities
Right.
and on, we can
Never
we
fight.
read each other's minds.
will
practically,
never
right?
fight.
Agree on everything.
All the Me Too's. Oh,
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah. So it's a little, that yes, start the conversation then, and it's not going to feel that real, because that first stage is really about falling in love, trusting each other. And it's not fake, but we naturally bring our best selves to that stage of the relationship.
Right.
Thank God. Yeah.
Right.
You walk in like a
We'd both be single.
hot mess. Hi, I'm Denise. I'm a hot mess. It's lovely to
Right,
meet you,
can
you know.
imagine?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I think probably just to have an ongoing conversation about that.
Right. That's like super important. Like this is why I wanted to like talk about that kind of stuff, because especially like I've been in a relationship for so long, like I don't remember what it was like dating, and we were, specifically talked about what it would be like to date
Right,
in your
right.
50s, but then
Yes.
what it's like when you're well into the relationship,
Mhm.
and there's things that you want to change or make better, or like communication just always seems to be at the top of the list. Like you can't
Always.
you
yeah.
can't there's be best. Like there's always room for improvement, so that was why it was important to have these talks. But I appreciate you doing this, because I know you've got a busy day ahead of you from here
You
on.
are welcome. It's fun to hop on with all of you, and
Yeah, I can't wait. We'll check our schedules and we'll see when the next good time will be.
cool.
I'll be back in the
Yay.
cold,
Oh, yeah.
Aw.
you
When are
know,
you going back?
the 7th.
7th. We only
Yeah.
have a couple more weeks.
Not even.
Not even.
Not even.
Where are we?
I know.
Right.
Don't make me think about it. I get
Well,
already stuck in
enjoy the rest of your time here and soak in the sun.
it. Well,
Great.
Thank
you.
It's really important. I
she's
appreciate
an
it.
important contact. Donna works. Tell her where you work and what you do, real quick. This is great.
I
This
work
is great.
for CenturyLink, which is a large LGBTQ nonprofit, and we are the Association of LGBT Community Centers worldwide. And
Wow.
I'm hosted here in Fort Lauderdale, and I'm the communications and projects manager.
How many times
That's
a month do you have to
amazing.
say that?
Like a lot, every single Zoom meeting.
Well, thank you for what you do. That's
Thank you.
awesome.
I love
Yeah,
it.
yeah, it's awesome.
Absolute 100% passion. It's
Yeah,
all
this
love.
could be a good
That's cool.
connect. This could be a good connection.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out. But I'll email you our schedule coming up in
Yeah.
March, and we'll see if you have any availabilities towards the end of March. And we'll see if we can come back and think of some cool topics again.
Awesome. And
Cool.
Been helpful.
I wanted to ask you, do you have, I might have asked you this the last time you were on. Do you do Zoom sessions with people? Like if they want to come and to you?
If they're not local.
If they're not local, do you?
Yeah, I don't do individual Zoom sessions, but I have an online group coaching program for lesbian couples that's really fun and amazing.
That's really
Where
cool.
can they find
Do you want
that?
to say it? You
Yeah,
wanna-
talk about the website real quick so people know.
Yeah, it's lesbiancoupleinstitute.com.
It's fantastic,
Alright.
right? So good.
And you can get a little free thing on there, and that puts you into my emails, and then you'll hear from me with some regularities.
It's so,
Yeah.
Excellent.
That's
Good for you.
fantastic.
Awesome.
Well, thanks,
Thank you
Dr.
again.
Spann. Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome.
See you next
All
time.
right, cheers.
Cheers.
Why do you always run back to the lover you
Like, never stop
once
chasing your
knew?
dreams.
You're addicted to her touch. That's true.
See?
And I confess, my addiction is you.
We drank way too much whiskey.
Don't ask me why I'm here tonight. I had to take this midnight drive to find you. And as I come in through the door, I see her dancing on the floor beside you. Why do you always run back to the lover you once knew? You're addicted to her touch, that's true. addicted to her touch. That's true.